All right, what we're doing today is building some cedar flower beds. These are pretty simple, pretty easy build that I do. They're probably my best seller right at the start of summer. And then towards the end of summer, you'll get a couple customers reordering them just in preparation for next year. And that's actually what I'm doing today. I had a customer order 2 of these. So we're gonna get these together for her. Pretty simple materials. You need some 1-inch brad nails. You need some wood glue. And then these are 1x6 by 6 foot cedar fence pickets. My Menards, they cost me $2.48 a board. And you need 11 of those for 1 flower bed. And then one thing I like to do for these is to give them a nice shiny face, smooth face on one side. You know, they're kind of rough right out of the lumber mill. So what we're gonna do is take these and run them through the planer just on one side. We don't want to get it too thin, so we're just gonna do it on one side. This part isn't a requirement. You don't have to do this. If you're just building them for yourself, you really don't have to do this. But if you're trying to sell these, you want yours to kind of look better than everybody else's. So if you have a planer, it really does help to make these look a little bit nicer and get a nice, fresh, smooth face rather than that rough outside where you can't even really see the colors in the wood. But when you smooth it out, you'll be able to see a lot of the details of the actual boards themselves. What we're gonna do next is head over to the miter saw, and we're gonna cut these. We're gonna cut 4 of these boards into 48 inches and then 22 inches. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the legs. Now the legs are 30 inches long, but they're split down the middle. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 2 boards and we're gonna cut them at 30 inches here and then 30 inches again here. We're gonna take all of our 30-inch boards and we're gonna cut them. These are 5.5 wide. We're gonna cut them at 2.5, and that's gonna leave about 3 inches on one side. So what that does when you cut this board at 2.5 is it gives you your top board at 2.5 right here, and then your bottom board right about 3 inches wide. And that's because when we hook the legs up, we're actually going to do a butt joint just like this. And that's going to make it 3 inches wide here and 3 inches wide here. So you guys don't have to have this, but this, because I mass produced these, I had to make some sort of template or jig to help me line everything up faster. You take your 2 22-inch boards right here, put them in like this, put your other one in just like that. Take your 2.5-inch boards, not your 3 inches, but your 2.5s, and you're gonna line one of them up right here, line the other one up right there. Glue down, and we're gonna line our board up here. I'm just putting 4 on the face. I don't want to put too many on the face, but put more on the back side. Perfect. All you're doing is just lining this up flush with this side right here. I know these boards got some kind of jagged edges. It gets covered up, so I'm not super worried about it. But you're just trying to line them up flush with this side, flush with this side. We're going to put a few more on the back. Boom, you got your first face done. So go ahead and repeat that process and do it one more time. For this step, it's going to be pretty simple. We're building this wall, and the one key difference between this and the last wall is you have this overhang right here. This overhang right here is going to be 1.25 inches. So we got that 1.25 inch overhang right here on the back side of the big one. And I'm using this template right here. What we're doing is I'm taking my 48-inch board and I'm lining it up right there and right there, and my next one right there, shiny side facing up. So now it's flush with this which was a 2x4, where I came down 1.25 inches here and 1.25 inches this way, so I could leave this little chunk right here and would stay flush with this. What that allows you to do is take your 3-inch board and you can line it up just like that. And that is what gives you this overhang. So you don't actually need this big old template right here. I do it just because, again, mass production. What I used to actually do is take my 3-inch piece right here. I would line it up just like this, strike a line across it. This is 1.25 inches wide, so this mimics that gap in there. So then we got my line right here. I would take these 2 boards and I would line them up flush with that line, just like that, and then I would nail this board down. But I got the template, so we're gonna do a little faster than that. We'll line up our glue. Alright, board up there. And then, like I said, we're going to put a couple more nails in this, so we'll flip it over. Then we'll put 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, 5 here. And that gives us our board again, the 1.25 inch overhang. Alright, so I just got one of them done and assembled here. That way I can kind of show you what I'm talking about when I'm showing you how to put this together. So here's what it's going to look like when we're done, and we'll get started on some of these panels. So we're going to take one of our 48-inch panels. What we're going to do is put the supports on for the crossboards. So this is basically just a 3/4 or actually 7/8 inch wide strip of this. And I cut up 2 of these strips. I lay a bead of glue down here. And we're going to place that piece right on there. And nail it across. Now I put way too many nails in these things because these brad nails are very cheap, and I just like to overbuild my stuff, that way I don't have any problems in the future. So we just did that. We added this little lip on right here. Show you guys a little closer there. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this other 48-inch piece right here. Our next step is we're gonna attach the 4 pieces together. You're gonna lay a bead right on the edge here, bead of glue there, bead of glue over here. Now our rough side's facing in. Remember, we planed the other side so it's smooth. Your indent side basically facing in. Same thing here, we got our smooth side and our rough side. Our rough side is gonna face in, and it's gonna sit flush right into this corner. What we got, here's our joint right here. This is our long 48-inch board. This is our 22-inch. You see we put that little strip on there, and you're sitting it flush with this side right here. So you got your overhang coming right here, and this board sits right in the pocket there. And what I'm gonna do is put a few nails here and a few nails all the way down this leg. All right, so our next step here is filling in this whole bottom space. Now the width right here is 21 inches. So I cut all these boards at 20 7/8. You're gonna need to take 3 of those fence pickets and chop them up all into 21-inch or 20 7/8 inch pieces. You'll get 3 out of each board, so 9 total of those 20 7/8. Start down here on this end, take it the rest of the way down. So this very last little chunk over here is usually around 3-4 inches wide. It kind of depends, because some of these are 5.5, some are 5 3/4, some are 5 1/4 wide. So you just need to measure that gap right there and rip that chunk down on the table saw. I already did that right here. Mine's at 4 1/4, so this piece is 4 1/4 wide. But it kind of ends up being different every time. And just snug that little piece in there. So now we got all these boards down. We're gonna go ahead and nail them to the base. Now what I like to do is squeeze this thing together. Put 1, 2, 4, right on the edge. And when you let go, it'll keep it compressed together. We got 2 nails here, 2 nails here. We're gonna put 2 nails on every board on each side all the way down. Our next step is I'm taking 2 little scrap pieces that I cut into 8 inches long. Run a line of glue. Run a line of glue. And these are gonna go right up against this wall right here. And I'm gonna line this up just like that. Put a mess of nails in there. That's just gonna help keep these 2 boards lined up together pretty well. So for the trim pieces here, what we got are, I took one of those fence pickets and I ripped it down into 1¼ inch wide pieces all the way through the whole board. So they gave me 1¼ inch wide piece. I went ahead, cut one end at a 45-degree angle. And for the sides, for this side and this side, you're looking at from top edge to top edge, 23 and a half. From outside, these are going to be 51 1/8 outside to outside. So I'm going to go ahead and lay a bead of glue around the whole perimeter. Our clean face facing up. Line it up on the inside there. Same thing on this side. Come over here with our shorter piece. I like the way that's lined up. I'm going to go ahead and nail it down. And we're going to add a little extra support to the bottom of this. The way I like to do that is I had a couple extra 1¼ inch wide pieces of scrap. So I'm going to break this about 3/4 of the way down, like right here-ish. I'm going to glue one side of this. And we're going to nail it all down. So what we're going to do last here is we're going to seal these up. You don't have to, but it's kind of going to gray pretty quickly within the year about if you don't put any seal on that cedar. And so if you want to show it off a little bit more, let it last longer, I put tung oil on this. I'm sure there's better seals. This is just the one that came to mind to me, and I've been using it for a couple of years now. Alright, so here we are. We completed our flower beds. Of course, it hasn't been raining this whole time. As soon as I step outside, it starts raining. But whatever, I'm done here. So we got these 2 flower beds done. All the materials and everything I gave you for, again, was for one of these. My customer just ordered 2, so I had to build 2 of them today. But these are a simple build, a real hot item at the start of the summer. You know, these boards costing $248, you need 11 of them. It's about $35, $40 with nails to build. Pretty cheap. I sell these for $100 with no seal, and then $110 with that tung oil on them. Most of the customers do go with the tung oiled version. If you're making these in bulk, one thing I do is I put that tung oil in a spray bottle and I spray it on and wipe it down. That helps me get it done usually a little bit faster. But you do have to sacrifice that spray bottle, so don't go buying expensive ones. Buy cheap dollar ones from the dollar store. Pretty simple to make, pretty awesome looking, and they sell great. Made from cedar, these aren't gonna rot over the years. I've had some customers throw a liner in here, but again, these are made out of cedar. You're not gonna have really that issue with dirt deteriorating it or anything, so you don't have to put a liner in them. All this is off my knowledge of it. I'm no professional, maybe trying to be. But if I'm doing anything wrong or you guys got any suggestions of things I can do better, please let me know. I'm always eager to learn. I do take very well to criticism, so please leave it and let me know some of the things I can do better, some things I'm doing wrong here. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. These videos have been fun to make, and I do plan to continue making them. So subscribe, stick around, watch some more of these videos, and hit the like button. Yeah, I think that's what's next. Hit the like button. Otherwise, we're all set. You guys take care. Enjoy your evening.